Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to another match preview. It's FA Cup action this weekend for Wolves. A nice little break from the Premier League. It's been 4 games on the bounce for Wolves without a victory in the Premier League. So hopefully we can look to get a win against Grimsby Town of League 2, our second consecutive opposition from that division as well in the FA Cup. As always, guys, I'll be giving my thoughts, the latest from Rob Edwards' pre-match press conference, and we'll have the Grimsby perspective later on in the video as well. But yeah, FA Cup action coming up for Wolves. A nice, pleasant distraction, I would say, from the Premier League. Hopefully it'll give Wolves a chance and Wolves fans to see us score some goals and, all being well, win the game. However, with how this season has gone, we don't know. I suppose there were slight nerves going into the Shrewsbury game before. Some people labelling that as a potential banana skin, but Wolves dispatched them quite comfortably in the end in the third round, although Shrewsbury or at the bottom end, or were at the bottom end of the League 2 table and were struggling, whereas Grimsby, as we'll go into the perspective later on, are having a really decent run in League 2 at the moment in regards to keeping clean sheets and winning football matches. This isn't going to be an easy game, I don't think. You would hope that the quality, the Premier League quality, or you could argue top-end championship quality, hopefully, of Wolves and their squad should be enough to get the job done. But Grimsby at the moment, we're 4 divisions apart, or 3 divisions apart, I should say. By next season, there could only be 1 division in it, with us in the championship and then potentially in League 1. So yeah, it'll be an intriguing, maybe nervy game. I think an early goal is key, really, for Wolves to basically make Grimsby come out and play. I don't think they will sit back and defend. I think they've got a lot of confidence in how they play, as they did against Manchester United, who, they were a big part. It was a big reason why they hurt Manchester United. Almost shocked Amarim's side at the time with how confident they were at times going forward, and took it all the way to penalties and got the win there in the end. In regards to Rob Edwards' pre-match press conference today, nothing major from coming out of Wednesday's game against Forest. Hwang still injured. Totti Gomez still out, but getting closer now. Andre hopefully will be available. He is still a slight doubt, but he's back in training now, so he is potentially an option for Sunday as well. And in terms of team lineup, it's quite hard to predict exactly who will start, who won't start. I think if you base your opinion on the third round game, Rob went pretty strong. It was still rotated to a degree. Obviously, Strand Larson had come in, who hadn't started in a short while. Switch of the fullbacks and so on. And obviously switch of the goalkeeper. I'm going to give my predicted lineup now, but it could be completely different. And of course, it does depend on certain players and availability of players. So I've gone with Sam Johnston in goal. I've gone with a left wing back of David Muller-Wolfer. Right wing back of Jackson Chichua. Again, that could easily be Pedro Lima as well. I think a lot of us may want to see Pedro Lima in there, but I think Chichua may be in there. Back 3 are sticking the same. I don't think there's much choice unless Rob Edwards goes to a back 4. But you got Mosquera, Santi Bueno, and Krejci in there. Midfield 3 once again. Jean-Ric Bellegarde can be the one that maybe brings the ball forward a little bit. Angel Gomez alongside João Gomez. And then I've gone with a front 2 of Adam Armstrong and Tolu once again. Pedro Lima I would like to see in there. Rodrigo Gomez could easily play if he wanted to play with the 3 up top and maybe not risk both strikers playing together. We'll wait and see. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because I really don't know how Rob's going to approach this game. It's been quite a while since these two teams last met as well. I think it's been 23 years, since we played Grimsby, which was in a league game. Coming up to 23 years ago in April. A 1-0 win in the end away for Wolves. In the FA Cup, this will be the 6th time that the teams meet as well. Wolves coming out as the winners on more than half of those occasions. I'm still waiting for my tickets for this game. I am meant to be going, but our Royal Mail, our fantastic service, are yet to deliver those. So I'm hoping I will be there. However, we do get the lowdown on Grimsby from Adam, the Grimsby fan, in the opposition perspective, coming right up. So then, it's great to welcome Adam from a View From The Findus for the Grimsby perspective ahead of this weekend's FA Cup clash. Adam, thanks for jumping on. How you keeping, mate?
Yeah, very well, Dave. As you can see, I'm excited. I've got my shirt on ready. It's going, and obviously, I guess this is a just an audio pod that we're doing.
No, it will go out on YouTube as well, so everyone will see
Oh,
your
going
lovely shirt.
video
Yeah,
as well, are we? So
yeah,
there you go. Yeah, smart shirt, not town shirt. I'm that excited for the fixture. So yeah, it'll be top hat and tails by Sunday, mate.
yeah. No problem. I discussed it on our podcast actually earlier this week about Grimsby, and as you can imagine, I don't think many Wolves fans will be keeping close tabs on how Grimsby have done throughout the season. Of course, we know about the result against Manchester United, which we'll talk about later on. But I had a look in. You're on a decent run at the moment, and I've just checked again. You picked up another 3 points yesterday as well. Grimsby possibly knocking on the door for a playoff spot. What's been your view of the season, and of course your current form at the moment as well?
Yeah, well, it's been quite an interesting season. So we started off brilliantly, and within that run, the Manchester United game, obviously, I will drop that in as many times as possible, Dave. It doesn't happen very often as a Grimsby Town fan. But yeah, within that run, we had that incredible result as well. And early on in the season, I was incredibly optimistic, thinking we're almost certainly a playoff side, potential for automatic promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just had a bit of a real dip in form, sort of November, that lead up to Christmas time. And it was quite strange because there was plenty of games where we, in that time, where we felt we were on top still, just not clinical, and then daft errors at the back
Yeah.
leading to goals. And there was lots of games where we drew and lost by one goal, where you just felt that it was almost unjust. We felt the better side. And then all of a sudden, coming into the new year, we've stopped conceding. I mean, we've kept 8 in the league now. 8 out of the last 9 games, we've kept a clean
Wow.
sheet, which
Yeah.
is incredible. And yeah, we've obviously gone on at this incredible run where we've not lost in 9 now within the league. And yeah, we're a point outside the playoffs, and I'm hopeful. Lots of the underlying stats point to us being a playoff side or better. So yeah, I'm confident, fairly confident, Dave.
Good. Do you think there's a quiet confidence around the Grimsby fan base about Sunday as well then? I mean, Wolves, as you know, have had a torrid season. We sort of had a little bit of nervousness going into our third round game against Shrewsbury and dispatched them very comfortably in the end. But I suppose as a Grimsby fans, you're on this run. The magic of the cup, sort of whichever division you're in, goes out the window slightly. I'd assume there's a level of optimism there from you guys as well, maybe.
Yes, I mean I do. The one thing I know is we will have a good go.
Yeah.
Dave Artell will set the side up to attack Wolves, so it won't be a case of let's just sit in and defend, because that's exactly what we tried against Manchester United, and it worked beautifully. But we also played Brentford this season in the next round of the EFL Cup, and they did exactly what a Premier League side should do against a League Two side.
Yeah.
We tried to attack them, they picked us off, they beat us 5-0.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think probably with some people there'll be a level of optimism. With myself, I think a bit more realism. We're playing a Premier League side. How often does a League Two team beat 2 Premier League sides within the same season? Yes, you've not had the best of seasons, but look, there's a golfing class, there's a golfing finance. Yeah, and unless we get a lot of luck on the day and have a wonderful performance, I fully expect a Wolves victory.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it a couple of times. I know I mentioned it at the start as well. That game against Manchester United. I mean, without being what's the right word for me here? Ignorant. Would you say that is probably one of the biggest results for Grimsby Town in especially modern history, I suppose?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'm of an age where I grew up through the 90s and all the Alex Ferguson, Manchester United dominance. And every playground I was ever on as a child, it was full of Manchester United fans. And yeah, you had to listen to it as a Grimsby fan. And yeah, so to to beat them, it was just absolutely incredible. It was one of those really peculiar evenings. There was a storm in the air. There was bizarre weather. I mean, I don't know how much you saw of it, but it
Yeah,
absolutely bucketed it down in Cleethorpes, and the scenes of Amarim sat in the dugout with his tactical board and stuff will just live with me for a long time. So yeah, it's certainly going to be one of those memories that I take with me forevermore. It was a special night, a special moment.
Yeah, I know when I came onto the podcast, your podcast earlier on last weekend as well, and they pointed out, I'm sticking on the subject of Manchester United, that Grimsby and Wolves hold the record for the highest ever attendance at Old Trafford as well. So, I mean, I've just got the stat there, 1939 FA Cup semi-final. I mean, it was a little bit before our time, I suppose, but, it shows, the history of these two football clubs, and it's going to be really interesting, obviously, facing off against you guys. Is there any, in terms of players, any individuals that you think Wolves fans need to be looking out for on Sunday?
Just very quickly on the Old Trafford stat, there is, if you go onto YouTube and search Grimsby Wolves, there is a little bit of footage on there of that match and of the crowd.
I'll have a look at that later.
Those be if you're a football historian or have any interest, it's fascinating viewing. In terms of players, so again, we've got players across the team that are having good seasons. So in terms of at the back, we've got a centre back called Cameron McJanet, who has been with us 2 years now, and he's absolutely superb. He's that defender that just never seems to miss a game. In terms of he's never injured, but also he's always a 7 or 8 out of 10 every single game. He's just Mr. Reliable, exactly what you need at the back. Obviously, he's going to need a big game if we're going to worry you at all, keep you out. But going forward, we've got quite a few players that can hurt teams. So we've just brought in Andy Cook back in, who's been at Bradford for many years.
Yeah.
He's been around the lower league part of the pyramid for a few years now. Real experienced battler of a striker. He wins things in the air. He's a nuisance. He's a real star. And then we've got players as well, like Kieran Green in midfield. He's the sort of player that he could do very little, but he can score goals out of nothing. He's one of those players that will score an absolute wonder goal out of nowhere. I mean, he's in his time with us, he's scored goals from inside his own half. Even he's against Harrogate away. It was an incredible goal. He's a player that can hurt you. And then we've got some good attacking wide players as well. Dara Burns, not so much in terms of scoring, Dara Burns, but real good technical player, creates things. And Charles Vernon, very hit and miss, but on his day could suddenly pop up with 2 goals. So we've got players across the team that have ability at League 2 level.
Yeah.
I could be made to look foolish if you just absolutely dominate us like Brentford did.
I suppose there's going to be, at that level, there's going to be quality, especially on, as we mentioned earlier, the unbeaten run that you're on at the moment. It's not going to be full of, part-time Sunday League footballers. They're all capable at that level. And, there's a chance they could be League One footballers next year as well.
And obviously, ultimately, if we are, I mean, we're talking about that gulf. I'm sorry to bring this up. Apologies for anybody in Wolverhampton listening to this. But there is that outside chance that we're suddenly one league apart next season. Your Championship, we're League One, and that gulf is suddenly shrunk massively then.
No, definitely. For you though, Adam, look, we all dream of going on an FA Cup run, but I would assume is promotion to League One a much bigger priority for you between now and the end of the season than a couple more FA Cup wins?
Yes, partly as well because, and again, I like to drop this in at any opportunity I can. We very recently made the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Only a few years ago, we ended up playing Brighton. Incredible run. I mean, it was just bizarre to see us in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. So, Yeah, obviously, and that to us is basically our ceiling. If we
Yeah.
if we get to that point, we're going to play one of the big boys, and the chances are that's it. So yeah, for me, League One, promotion to League One, sorry, certainly is the priority. But let's be greedy, like South Bows.
I don't blame you.
At the end of the day, we're football fans. We want it all, don't we?
Exactly. And I am one of the lucky few making the trip up to Grimsby. I've heard, obviously, fish and chips is obviously the go-to. Any recommendations, or is everywhere sort of pretty bang on for that round and near the ground?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you want. If you want a nice sit-down fish and chips, there's in the Cleethorpes Marketplace, there's Steele's, which is your very traditional fish and chip restaurant. Fantastic, lovely food, great portions. Highly recommend that. A little bit more modern, but still sit down. You can see I've come to life talking
There
fish
you
and
go.
chips now. Football, I was just big grin on my face now. Bit more modern, your Ocean Fish Bar, again, fantastic food in there, which is down St. Peter's Avenue, or a little bit closer to the ground, highly recommend Pip's Chips as a takeaway restaurant. It's superb. It's, from the away end, less than a 10-minute walk, probably 5-minute walk if you're brisk. And in this time of year with the Cleethorpes wind blowing in, you need to be brisk. So highly recommend Pip's Chips as well if takeaway chippy is your bag.
No problem. I'll keep an eye out for those as well. And go on, Adam. Let's be brave. What's your score prediction for Sunday afternoon?
Brave,
or maybe give me a head and a heart one.
3-0 Wolves both, mate. I think I'm going to go for you. Didn't expect
you are
that,
very. You are
ultimately we're playing a Premier League side, and I can't get beyond that. If you were sat bottom of the Championship, I'd give us a very good chance. Mm-hmm. In fact, we've already beaten Sheff Wednesday this season in a cup. But yeah, Premier League. Yeah, I mean, if I had to stick a fiver on it, I'd be going a fairly comfortable Wolves win. But you just never know with football, as this season's already proved, as Macclesfield proved in the last round, beating Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
You just never know.
You do, yeah. Adam, thank you very much for joining me, mate, and best of luck for the rest of the season. And, I mean, who knows, we may catch up again soon. Hopefully things don't go that bad for Wolves, or maybe it goes quite well for Grimsby, a couple of promotions, but I'm sure we'll catch up in the future anyway, mate.
Thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed it,
Cheers,
Dave.
Mate.
Appreciate it. And enjoy your safe journey over.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. So big thanks to Adam. You can find the podcast, A View From The Findus. I'll make sure I leave a link to that in the description down below. And let me know your score predictions and your overall feeling going into this game. I know it's very doom and gloom and quite negative at the moment. So I'm sure there will be some of you actually quite worried about Sunday's game. But here's hoping Wolves can show why at times they have looked okay this season and try and find that little bit of quality to maybe give us something to smile about and hopefully continue this FA Cup run. As always, guys, hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.